The product I will be testing in this experiment is body soaps. I will be using Dove soap, which is the soap that my family usually buys, and I will be comparing it against Lux and Imperial Leather. I think that Dove will give off the most lather because Dove claims that it has nutrient moisture. The independent variable in my experiment was the soaps, Imperial Leather, Lux, and Dove. The dependent variable was the lather, and the constants were my hands and water. I record my observations based on a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being the least amount of lather and 5 being the most amount of lather. Then I will cleanse my hands and get rid of all the lather, and I will redo all the steps over again respectively for the Lux and Dove, and at the end I will record all my observations. The 3 soaps that I'm going to use in this experiment are Imperial Leather, Lux, and Dove. I'm going to use Imperial Leather and I'm going to time it for 30 seconds. The amount of lather produced on my scale would be about a 1 or a 2 because not much lather was produced. I'm going to use Lux. I would rate this a 2 or 3. I'm using the Dove soap. I would rate Dove a 4 on my scale. From my data, I learned that the Dove soap created more lather than Imperial Leather and Lux. From my data, I can infer that Dove soap has more active ingredients, which increases the production of lather. The active ingredient in my product was sodium palm kernelate. Sodium palm kernelate is a surfactant, or a cleansing agent for the hands. They gather the kernelate from the process of saponification of oil. It also controls the thickness of the soap. Saponification is used to make soaps. Through this reaction, natural soaps are made, which is sodium or potassium salts of fatty acids. The fatty acids are made by boiling a pig or other animal fats with potassium hydroxide. The hydrolysis of the fats in oil takes place and it creates glycerol and soap. Soap is made up of molecules with 2 different ends. One end of the soap loves water, which is why they are given the name hydrophilic. The other end of the water is hydrophobic because the molecules hate water. The hydrophobic part of the soap molecule attaches to the oil, and the hydrophilic molecules tend to stick out in the water, which causes the creation of a drop of oil. The drops of oil then temporarily cause the grease and dirt in your hands into the water. The impacts of sodium palm kernelate on the environment. Because it is in such a high demand for the palm oil that is used in the cosmetics, soaps, and vegetable oil, it is becoming a threat to orangutans in the wild. Because whenever a new palm oil plantation is created, the orangutans lose their natural habitat, which forces them out of the forest, and some are even trapped in small patches in the forest because they have nowhere to go. Thousands of orangutans are dying in Indonesia, and the only way to save them from deforestation and death is if companies that use palm oils in their products were to make more sustainable palm oil so that fewer orangutans will be killed or taken away from their natural habitat, so that companies can keep up with the demand of their customers. There are no health impacts other than the fact that it cleanses the skin and is a surfactant.